Stop.
Don't hit me!
Stop.
Don't hit me!
You're not getting
Don't hit
facing
me!
it.
Don't hit me! Look, he's hitting me!
The quiet town of Bunnell, Florida was shaken by an incident involving a middle school bus driver, Mark McNeil. A day like any other turned into an alarming spectacle when an observant colleague detected the pungent scent of alcohol on McNeil's breath. This wasn't during a break or at the end of the day. No, this was in the midst of his regular afternoon route, with the responsibility of 40 young lives resting squarely on his shoulders. The colleague, alarmed by the situation, reported it to a supervisor hoping for immediate action. Meanwhile, McNeil, perhaps oblivious to the escalating situation, continued on his route, ferrying the students to their destinations. He disregarded repeated calls from dispatchers, who were trying to reach him urgently following the report. Was he aware of the report? Did he choose to ignore the calls? We may never truly know. The incident took another turn when McNeil's supervisor was forced to intercept him after he dropped off some children. It was then that McNeil finally stopped the bus, stepped out, and began to complain of difficulty breathing. The situation was quickly spiraling out of control, the stakes higher than ever with children still on board. When the police arrived on the scene, they conducted an alcohol test on McNeil.
We definitely just said I've had a couple of beers. So what?
Hey!
Stop.
Don't hit me!
Stop.
Don't hit me!
Stop.
Don't hit me!
You're not getting
Don't hit
facing
me!
it.
Don't hit me! Look, he's hitting me! He's hitting me! Yeah.
Do not get
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Ow!
Scoot all the way back. Scoot all the way back.
Ow! You made me!
The results were damning. McNeil's blood alcohol level was found to be 0.32, a staggering 4 times the legal limit of 0.08. This was no longer just a breach of trust, but a criminal act. Yet amid the chaos, the fear, and the disbelief, a silver lining emerged. Despite the potential for disaster, no child was harmed during this shocking event. As the dust settled on this alarming day, the quiet town of Bunnell was left to grapple with the reality of what had unfolded. But one thing was clear. The incident involving Mark McNeil had left an indelible mark on this small community.
I want to just add one more thing that I didn't want to waste time here. Okay, all you people work hard, and I can't. Okay, I don't want to waste anybody's time. Okay, and I'm really sorry. Okay.
But the hearing doesn't go as smoothly as McNeil might have hoped. He arrives 2 hours late, a delay that does little to endear him to the court. And yet, amidst the tension that hangs in the courtroom, McNeil attempts to address the court. He offers an apology, a plea for understanding, perhaps even for mercy. But Judge Perkins is unswayed. He sees through the apology, recognizing it for what it is, a calculated move, an attempt to manipulate the court's sympathies. He refuses the apology outright, a clear indication of his stance on the matter. And then, in a move that sends shockwaves through the courtroom, Judge Perkins refuses the proposed plea deal. The 1-year county jail sentence that McNeil had hoped for is suddenly off the table. The implications are clear. Judge Perkins is not one to be swayed by empty apologies or strategic plea deals. In the wake of this decision, the courtroom buzzes with anticipation. What will happen next? What does this mean for McNeil? As a result, McNeil was taken into custody without facing additional charges, but his plea deal was modified. Stay tuned for more updates on this developing story. Today's hearing may have closed, but the story of Mark McNeil is far from over. The road to justice, it seems, is not always a straightforward one.